Alright, this is Darren Uyenoyama, and you're watching FightStylez.
FightStylez here in Oakland, California at the Bay Rum Slugfest. We bumped into Darren Uyenoyama, who has his UFC debut coming up in Anaheim, California, November 12th at UFC on Fox. Darren, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well today. You know, I'm out here to support Diego Cuenca, who's an amateur fighter out of FTCC, I think this is going to be his 4th amateur fight. He's fighting tonight. Since most of the US fans don't know who I am, I fought a little bit locally around like 2007 and 2008, competing in cage combat around here. I also fought in Strike Force in San Jose quite a bit. I think that was 2008. Then after that, I started fighting in fought in Dream, which is a big Japanese promotion that formerly used to be known as Pride. And then from there, I competed in Deep and Shudo. And my last win, or my last fight actually, was last year when I defeated the Shudo World Champion, and I think that's what I get most recognition for. And also I've got grappling competition in my past, so I competed in Grapplers Quest, won a number of Grapplers Quests. Yeah, I did the Abu Dhabi qualifiers and won the Fila Grappling World Championships in 2007, so I kind of come from a grappling background. On November 12th, I'll be fighting Kid Yamamoto. Kid, it was the former K1 Heroes champion. He accomplished a lot fighting at heavier weights at about, I think it was around 160, 155. And you know, he's fought in, I think it was like a Sengoku Dream show recently. And yeah, I think he's one of the pioneers of lightweights in MMA, or flyweights and bantamweights, where at the peak of his career, you know, the UFC and WEC didn't really have our weight class at the time. So, you know, now he's fighting in the UFC. He last fought Demetrius Johnson, and yeah, he's trying to make a bang here in the UFC. So he's a heavy striker. He's fought in K1, and he's had kickboxing fights with Masato, who's pretty well known, Michael Zambides, and I'm not too sure, a few of the other names have slipped my mind, but you know, he's got high-level striking ability. Also, he comes from a pretty well-known wrestling family in Japan. So, my preparation for this fight is, well, we're dealing with the aspect of the cage, which is huge. 5-minute rounds as opposed to a 10-minute first round, which I prefer. You know, training for a 10-minute first round was really hard. So now we're training for 5-minute rounds. Plus the incorporation of elbows. In Japan, there's no elbows. They don't like to see people get cut there. But also, now there's no knees allowed to the head, which I used to have to train and be prepared for. So that's a benefit. No kicking of a down opponent too, which makes my life a lot more pleasant. To be debuting in the UFC, it's pretty meaningful in the sense that, you know, when I first started watching it, you know, I was watching UFC 1 on a black box at my friend's house, right, getting illegal cable, and I never thought that one day that I would be there. I never thought that I'd be a black belt in jiu-jitsu either, but you know, things just kind of followed an order, and it just so happened. So I'm trying not to put any additional pressure on myself and just trying to enjoy the experience. So I'm just looking to display my skills in, and this is my first opportunity that I can show the US market like what I can do, and the US fans what I can do. To debut on the UFC on Fox, it's actually a big opportunity. I was pretty shocked actually that my offer was for such a big show, especially when a headliners like Cain Velasquez versus Junior Dos Santos. I anticipated that my UFC debut might be on a smaller show, but it just so happened that the first time they called me was for the UFC in Brazil, which was a pretty big card, and I wanted to fight, you know, on the same card as my heroes like Nogueira, Forrest Griffin. But now I get to fight here in the States, in LA, and yeah, people even without cable will be able to watch it, so I think that's the most exciting part. I see the UFC bantamweight division developing where it's going to be super high paced. I think as the viewers become more educated, I think they'll be more drawn into like the lighter weight classes, because there's a lot more exchange position. Things are happening very fast, and you know, they're even eventually adding the 125, which I think is going to be huge. So right now, they're signing a lot of 135ers, I think anticipating the 125-135 split. And man, I think the sky's the limit. Hopefully one day we're having all like 155 and under shows again, so I'll be excited for that. My competition life in every sport is I never really focused on being a champion or accomplishing medals or getting belts or anything. I think that that's just a byproduct of performing at your best. So my goal is just to meet my maximum potential and to experience the fight where I feel no hesitation or no holdback. And it's just a sense that I guess I'll get when I'm in the ring. And yeah, I just want to be that fighter that, you know, people remember and say like, damn, that guy was good. I'd like to thank FightStylez for giving me this opportunity. You know, it helps to get as much exposure as possible. You know, showing support for Bay Area fighters, I think it's huge. Hopefully more and more of us will start to make it into the big shows, and yeah, we can all go out there and represent.